Welcome to Pulp Mortem, the search for a lost science fiction classic.
Wow. Hi, my name's John. I'm a captain. So what is your name, pretty lady?
Mary.
Mary. Well, it's a nice party. So even from way over there, I couldn't help but notice how nice you looked, and I was wondering if, I don't know, you want to dance with me?
No.
Just like that. Okay.
Do you know who I am? My father is the owner of Dawn Enterprises, one of the largest industrial complexes in the entire intergalactic federation.
Oh, okay, well.
How can I give someone as lowly as you the time of day?
You know, hypothetically, let's just say that this ship we're on, as unlikely as it may be, crash lands, and we're some of the only people that survive, and we land on this uncharted alien planet, and then we're attacked by these alien beasts, and I end up saving your life a bunch of times. And then we're captured by some alien tribesmen that enslave us, but then they get attacked by some raiders, and those raiders end up enslaving us as well. Then we get sold into slavery, but then we escape, and I have to fight to save your life. I have to fight in a gladiator arena, and then, we end up living the rest of our lives in this alien jungle. What about then? Where'd she go?
Who can say where the road...
But before the riveting conclusion to that story, a little bit about the author. Albert Augustus Jr. is a pen name for Charles Alexander Nuetzel. Nuetzel is an American author born November 10th, 1934, and he's still out there somewhere. Maybe right behind you. Made you look. Sorry. Albert Augustus is actually Nuetzel's father and twin brother's name as well, so, keeping it in the fam. Nuetzel worked as a singer and as a film technician, among many other jobs, but early on in life he was inspired by Edgar Rice Burroughs. His early work was sleaze and erotica. He wanted to be a pulp writer, but was informed by those in the industry that pulp was dead, and this was the current equivalent. Okay. Anyways, he used nearly 30 pseudonyms, wrote over 70 novels, and over 100 short stories. Not bad for a writing career that only lasted from 1960 to 1971. Which brings us to the Slaves of LOMOORO. Death in the arena. As the sound of trumpets faded, silence fell over the audience. Everybody in the arena seemed to have stopped breathing in anticipation of the bloody orgy of death about to take place before their eyes. Nobody would help him. The others would die without a fight. He held in his hands the only possible means of survival: 5 tiny pellets. Doomed to death, John Handon fights against a primitive world of man and beasts. The Slaves of LOMOORO is an original story first published by Powell in 1969. Powell was a small publisher that went bankrupt before its 2-year anniversary. Charles Nuetzel helped found Powell, wrote half the books they published, and his father provided half of the cover illustrations, which is cool. This is 204 pages and originally cost 95 cents. The cover is by Bill Hughes, who was the other artist that Powell used. Hughes definitely has that throwback pulpy style that Nuetzel loved. It's downright silly, but I'm not going to lie, it's why I bought it. You can find this for $5 or so online. And you know what? Let's stop lumouring around and talk about what I liked. Planetary romance. I did not need to read that Charles Nuetzel was heavily inspired by Edgar Rice Burroughs, because that was plainly obvious. This is planetary romance paint by numbers. It's not bad, but neither will anything catch you by surprise. I swear that I've read this book a dozen times already. Alright, the story opens with 3 survivors of a doomed ship crash landing on this strange alien jungle planet, far off course. Captain John Handon is the viewpoint protagonist. He's a spaceman in the Intergalactic Federation of Lactus Patrol, and he is joined by Mary Dorna, who is this beautiful but very icy rich kid, and Red Fendrix, who is a red-headed man.
Like, really, what's so different about us besides our hair color?
That's as far as his personality goes. Honestly, Red disappeared through half of this book, and I totally forgot about him. Anyways, the trio struggles to survive in this alien jungle. They do manage to find food. They begin to make shelter when, bam, they are captured. They are then enslaved and taken to this alien village. Oh no, soon the village is attacked by raiders, and these raiders see the trio and enslave them. At this point, you might as well be reading At the Earth's Core during the slave and capture sequences, because there are so many elements that are literally lifted right from that. I mean, perfectly aligned, scene for scene. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, eventually they're taken to a city and sold as slaves.
Dang it, we've been stranded for a week and we've already been enslaved 3 times.
But once they're in the city, the trio is separated, and Fire Captain John Hondon finds himself in the gladiator ring. Now, to escape, he must first locate his crewmates, put together a fighting force of slaves, but before any of that, he has to win. Now, I know I've been a little teasy up to this point, but I like this style of story. I like planetary romance stories. I like adventures on alien planets, and you can tell that Charles Nuetzel loves them too. While researching Charles Nuetzel, I found that elements of erotica kind of find their way into all of his work. But this one escapes scot-free, which is crazy. I mean, and I'm not opposed to cranking the steamer every once in a while. Wait, hold on. That sounds bad. Hold on a second. It doesn't mean that. Anyways, this is very wholesome. Like there is a scene where, this is kind of spoilery. It's nothing mind-blowing, and I promise you, if you know anything about this subgenre, you already know what's going to happen. But I guess we'll do a little spoiler here for folks. Here we go. The good guy gets the girl. Whoa, surprise! Obviously. And so after they just escaped from this harrowing situation, John and Mary realize that they have feelings for each other. They're about to face another challenge, but that is tomorrow. So they're up in this tree, and they have this makeshift bed where they've kind of laid down some giant palm fronds and made this little enclosed bed, just the two of them. Ooh. So anyway, they're preparing to sleep, but for the first time, these two people who had this rocky start, separated by pride and prejudice.
You have bewitched me, body and soul,
Yeah.
and I love.
For the first time, they truly understand each other. They truly see each other. And she kind of draws close to him.
John, you've saved me back there. I must admit, I was wrong about you.
Oh, Mary, you've grown. You've changed.
Now, I was wrong to treat you the way I did. Do you think you can forgive me?
Mary, there's nothing to forgive.
So they kiss. Start doing some making out, you know. And I'm like, all right, here we go. The funny thing is, there are other people in the tree below them. But, I mean, it's like they say. What do they say? If the alien spruces rock and don't come climbing. Wait, what do they say? But no, Mary pulls back.
No, John, I want to do this the right way.
Oh, space rubber?
No, I made that part up. Stop it. He doesn't say that. Stop it. Grow up, everybody. Be serious. This is a serious book.
Whatever it takes, John. Whatever customs we need to follow. Whatever this alien culture requires. I want to be your wife.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I do. I want that too. I also want that as well.
Who can say where the road goes? Where the
No, I'm teasing. John wouldn't have it any other way. I'm just being a silly goose, and it's refreshingly wholesome. It is hard to believe that these came out around the exact same time, and this one was from the Sleaze author. All right, enough screwing around. The best part of the book. This is the best point right here, the combat. I'll get to the first half of the story in the bad section. We'll deal with that. But at about the halfway point, we have our first combat scene, and it was legitimately cool. Really good. It's really good. These two men in a gladiator-style combat with one another. They have multiple weapons, and it is absolutely fantastic. The only sport I actually follow and know anything about is MMA, mixed martial arts, so I know a good fight when I see one. I mean, this had good movement to it, good flow, variety of actions, consequences. It felt realistic. It was just, without a doubt, the best fight scene I've read all year. And now, the bad. I just alluded to some issues with the first half of this book. Yeah, I fell asleep reading this twice. Not because I was a sleepy boy, but because I was bored stiff and my brain was like, just take a break. Click. Now, I did really enjoy the initial survival and alien planet elements, but they were covered so quickly. And so nearly half of this is just being introduced to different slavers and then being mistreated. Our heroes are kicked awake. They eat gruel. They do miscellaneous slave tasks, all the while being mistreated. No talking. Then they collapse. Rinse, repeat 3 times for nearly 100 pages. I was bored stiff and hating myself for picking this book. This has a bunch of typos, and they're the worst kind of typos. They're the wrong word being spelled, because that totally throws off the whole sentence. Hardest to catch, and the most damaging typos, and there were quite a few of them. Now, Charles Nuetzel, he was the author, so it's not his fault. It's not like he published this, you know. Oh, wait. There is an overabundance of exposition and an interrupting narrator voice. This became frustrating very quickly. Now, what do I mean? Well, let me give you an example. John sees a strange beast emerge from the thicket. Slowly he reaches for his weapon. Dun, 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 dun. Now, John had been extensively trained by the space military, something that, as he was a young boy, he always dreamt of joining, just like his father did. His father was named Mal Handon, and he became Major General, but he was then killed in battle of one of the battles of the Splinter System natives. That's what it says. So John joined when he was old enough, and that was 8 years ago. He is an excellent marksman and was generally ahead of his class, including getting awards for marksmanship. He was a good space soldier and killed a lot of space things over the course of his 8-year career. He then shot the beast. So, do you see the problem? We're reading along, poof, there's an action hook. We're suddenly invested, and then Nuetzel immediately yanks us back and starts cramming backstory and exposition in our maws. You don't ever have to worry about plot. Charles will explain what is happening for you. You don't have to speculate, I wonder what this character is thinking. No, we will be told what they're thinking. This writing style is tell, and every time the story or plot starts to move, it is suddenly jerked back to a halt. Now, this does get a little better towards the back half just because there's so much action, but it's still prevalent. It creates this kind of herky-jerky pace and seriously stuffs the story with needless words. This, no exaggeration, needs a 60-page trim. At least. This is a 140-page story, and it's well over 200 pages. Kind of piggybacking on that last point, there were several very lengthy conversations that were actually said and then repeated at a later date or location. One of them was almost verbatim, virtually verbatim. Like Nuetzel knew that there was something that needed to happen and needed to be said, but then he kind of forgot that he already said it earlier. This happened at least on 2 occasions, and it was 2 very egregious occasions, I should say. It further bogs down the story when I'm like, hey, you guys, you literally just said that. It's not you can't be having a revelation of this argument because you literally just had it. I feel like I'm stuck in a time loop. What's happening? Well, is there anything fun to do on LOMOORO? Actually, you're saying it wrong. I'm saying LOMOORO wrong? Shut up! Interior illustrations. Now, there's just one right here in the inside flap here, but I love it, and it's the same baddie from the cover. Look at him. Peekaboo. Why is he peekabooing? Is he in the story? No, I don't know who this monster is. I don't know who this monster is either, but it's still fun. He looked deep into Mary's eyes, trying to drill this hope home. The main thing is to keep alive. Do you understand? For a moment, she did not move. Then she nodded. Time is on our side. Remember that. Believe it. And don't give up hope. We have the explosive atomic pellets. They will make escape possible at the right moment. She stared at him. Do you really believe it? There was a pleading light in her eyes which seemed to beg him to believe it himself and convince her that it was true. Of course I do. Otherwise, I'd say kill yourself. Good thing John wasn't a doctor. Doctor, do you think the antibiotics will work on this gout? Probably, but if not, you could always just kill yourself. So what's the verdict? Probably Thrift Shop. 2.4 out of 5. While the eventual action was great and I liked the ending, the first half is a slog. Now, I don't need balls-to-the-wall action, but when all characters are helpless and just getting abused for 100 pages, I'm sorry, I'd rather read something else. But to be fair, the word slave is right there on the title. And that is my review of The Slaves of LOMOORO. Have you read this or anything? Stop! You haven't read this! But you have read all of Nuetzel's other books, haven't you? Don't lie! Don't lie! As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time with Bandersnatch. I'm sure my neighbors have some questions.